This doesn't seem to be too much of an outreach of this entire campaign in smaller towns. And what initiative have you or your groups have taken to do that, to to counter those voices? Because in small towns there are no big hums of a trust. There is no NAS Foundation where you can go and even talk. So how do you counter something like that?
See, what happens is there was this initiative, a global fund, which was basically started this program called Pehchan, which was basically to start up smaller community-based organizations across India in smaller towns, smaller. So it's been pretty much successful in terms of starting HIV/AIDS intervention units. Again, there was a collectivization of men who have sex with men. We don't use the word gay because in smaller towns people do not identify with the word gay. I mean, there would actually people are men who have sex with men or women who have sex with women. So there have been, but again, there have been a lot of threat. I mean, when especially some of the centers which try to open in places like Rajasthan, or Madhya Pradesh. I mean, there have been a lot of resistance. People in the smaller town or village have come down to shut those centers out, or not allow people to go and work there as outreach workers, So especially women, lesbian women, there's absolutely no discourse or talk at all in any of these centers. So there has been an attempt, but it's not been easy. So a lot of times, even the outreach workers who go and try to set up some of these centers actually have faced death threats, have faced very violent situations. So the very fact that they continue to work is fantastic. But again, as I told you, the Global Fund project is shutting down. So we don't even know what's going to happen to this whole set of community-based organization because there's no other funding model. How do they sustain any kind of activity, whether it's a health or rights-based activity? We don't know at this point of time. So that's a big. So the government has said that NACO, that's National AIDS Control Organization, has said that they're going to take charge of these programs, but it's very uncertain at this point of time.
As an individual, somebody who's been part of this movement, where do you think the so-called redemption or the so-called the golden day would come? You think it will be with the Supreme Court, or do you think there should be a parliamentary debate on this and the parliament kind of ratifies the law and there is a change? What's your gut reaction to that?
Yeah, actually for me, that's always over the last couple of months and a couple of, almost like a year now, I'm just like seesawing. When 2009 happened, we were all so joyous and we said we have seen change in our lifetime, which we never thought it happens. And now we have seen the, anti-change in our own lifetime, and that's really scary. For me, the worrisome is do you need a Nirbhaya case kind of thing again to, Nirbhaya case actually managed to bring in change in rape laws in some sense, Do we need outrage like that about LGBT community? Why is it necessary for this kind of a very negative approach to come in? Why is people? I really think the only way to make things change is people across board, not just LGBT community. As you saw that LGBT community is seen as inconsequential, imperceptible, invisible almost, So what is needed is a larger mainstream discourse which brings in, very, very important people coming out and saying, yes, we support, tweeting, Facebook, whatever, or filing petitions, against it. That's the only way to create a bigger, larger mass movement. I don't think, very frankly, I know that the LGBT community has come so far, is doing well, but I really think it doesn't have enough resources to go any more further. I think we have said everything we had to say. There's really nothing else to say. Yeah. Even on 2013, when the interviews wanted to ask me, I said, there's nothing. I've said everything for the last 20 years. I have nothing else to say now, So I think it's a lot more, I think the onus rests on fathers, mothers, parents, colleagues, everybody to come and say this is an important issue. And that is, it's being said, but in a very, very smaller circles, and it's not really penetrating to a larger segment where everybody is saying there's an important issue. It's as important as any other issues which needs to be dealt with. People feel that it's really something which can be dealt with. So I think that's the only way. And for me, I'm 52 now. So I think maybe, I don't know how many years I've got, but I think it will change. I think change will come. And I think change I really think will come from the government. I don't think judiciary will act so fast. You have seen judiciary is slow. And once Supreme Court makes a decision, and already a curative petition has been dismissed, so we only have hardly the recourse there. We only have this one curative petition, and that is really, I don't think it's going to, not many curative petitions have worked in the past. Very, 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 very few have worked. So in terms of a Supreme Court decision, I don't think there's much hope, you know. So it has to be the government at this point of time to do something about it. And we're hoping that, I don't know when that's going to happen.